Hey all stars, happy Monday. It's my favorite time of the week. It is time to do Read to Self. This is the second video of the week. The first one we learned about taking notes on the story, which is something we've learned over and over and over again, but it's something that's really helpful when you're reading, especially reading books online. Today we're gonna bump it up from 15 minutes to 17 minutes, and then we're gonna hit 20, then 25, and then 30. So I know you can do it. Remember today, if this is kind of hard, just go back and try the 10-minute video, try the 5-minute video, whatever works for you. You're gonna need a book. Remember, I read on my Kindle and I got some really good books that I'm gonna start reading. I'm so excited. I've gotten in like a really cool groove. Like once you find an author you like, you just like can read all their different books. And so I'm kind of in that. I'm kind of like reading about fairies, which sounds kind of weird, but it's so good. So just make sure you have your book. So if you don't have it, pause, go get it. Remember, if you're reading a picture book, you'll probably need 2 because 17 minutes is kind of long. You might even need 3 if you're a fast reader. If you have a chapter book and you're only at the beginning or in the middle, you should be fine, but just make sure that you have enough that you're not gonna need to get up during the time, okay? Okay, so pause the video, go find it, and come on back. All right, once you're back, let's go through and talk about Read to Self. We do this every time just to remind you why we're doing it, right? Why are we reading to self? Because it's important. Because it's literally the best way to help you become a better reader. The more you read, the better you become at reading, and that's just the fact, right? It's your muscle. Remember at the beginning, like 1 minute kind of felt long, and like now we're already at 17. So if you just keep doing this, reading every day, eventually like you'll be able to read for an hour and a half without even thinking about it, right? It's also fun. Like you get to know characters, and sometimes this is a perfect example. Like life isn't going the way that we all think, it was supposed to. Like we're supposed to be in school and doing field day and doing all this stuff, and instead most of us are at home, and it gets kind of hard. But guess what? Like books will be there for you. You can escape, and then you can learn about new characters. You can be a part of a story. You can travel to new places. So it's fun, and it gives you something to do on those days where you're just kind of over it. Yeah? Okay. So what does it look like? Remember, we read the whole time. We stay in one spot. You read quietly, so nobody's gonna hear me. Yes. Last night I could not sleep, and I stayed up till like 2:30 a.m. reading, but Connor had no idea because I read in my head. Next one, start right away. So once I start the timer, don't dilly-dally, don't waste time. Really start building those muscles. Ignore distractions. So like in a second, Connor's gonna come in because he's taking Indy around the block, and I'm gonna have to ignore him. I have to stay focused on my book. We're working on reading stamina. That's all we're doing, right? We really built it up. It's our muscle, that reading muscle. We're growing it. We're also going to persevere. Don't be hard on yourself. You might have not read over the weekend, and this might be harder. It's okay. Just take a breath. Say, I can do this. And just reread and keep going. Okay, nobody knows what's going on in your head. Also, with the persevere thing, if you notice that you are kind of dozing off, or you're kind of just reading the words and you're not really into it, don't read that book anymore. Find a new book. Like you should be excited about the book you're reading. I'm not dictating what you're reading during this time. This is your time, so you really get to choose books that you care about, books that you are like into. So don't waste this time. Like find a book that you really enjoy, so it's easier to read. It's hard to read when you're reading something that you don't like, right? Okay. And we're anybody that's in your house, they can read with you if you want to invite them to like come sit and read to self with you, or they're working or doing whatever they're doing, but they're independent. Remember, you can read the words, pictures, or retell. Yes? Find a comfortable spot. I'm always sitting on my couch, but you might not like sitting on the couch, so find a spot that works for you. Also we learned to take notes on the story. If you notice that you struggle with remembering what's going on in the book, or you're like, get to the end of a page and you're like, I have no idea what I'm reading, it might be a good practice to start taking notes while you're reading. It's just something to kind of start building your comprehension. So you can take notes on the setting, the characters, the problem, how they try to solve it, and then how they do solve it. And then eventually you won't have to take notes on that anymore because you'll be able to pick that out. But if you notice like right now you're just really struggling with understanding what you're reading, it might be a good practice to like do that while you're reading to self. Yeah? Because like you don't get comprehension over the time. You don't get comprehension just by like wishing it to be. I think I told y'all that my sister, she really struggled with understanding what she was reading. She's so smart, but like she just couldn't get into books because it was so much work for her to be like, what's happening? But she just kept practicing, and she would like take notes on what she's reading, and now she's like a really avid reader. Like she reads all the time. We never thought she'd be like that because she just really struggled with reading comprehension and did not like to read. And now she does. So if she can do it, anybody can do it. So just know yourself, think, can I read this without taking notes? And if you need to take notes, do it. It's your time, okay? All right, so I'm gonna start the timer. It's gonna be 17 minutes. Remember, if you hear noise in my background, you get to ignore it. That's good practice. And then we'll go through and figure out, what we did and what we need to work on. Okay, all right, ready, set, go. didn't stop. And I told you I was gonna have distractions. Connor's over there opening up packages while I'm while I'm trying to read. But hey, you gotta persevere, right? All right, let's go through. Remember 1, 2, 3, or 4. Way to go, too. 17 minutes. We're really doing it. Did you read the whole time? Did you stay in one spot? Did you read quietly? Did you start right when I pressed the button? Did you ignore distractions, even if it was hard? Did we work on reading stamina? Yes, we did. And did you persevere? All right, look at these. Think about one that you're gonna make a goal. I think my goal, next one, I think I'm gonna keep working on ignoring distractions. It's super hard. Because I just was laughing at Connor for being so loud. He was putting things away. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to make this video, and here we go. Okay, remember, don't use these videos because the only way to really become a better reader is by reading more and more and more. So really do this today, do this tomorrow. Wednesday we'll move up to 20 minutes, do that Wednesday, Thursday. Like really try to read every day. That's very important. Make sure that you mark off how long we read today, so 17 minutes. So make sure you're keeping track of your stamina. And if you took notes, take picture. Make sure you're sending a picture of your book. So if you don't send a picture of your book or you're reading, then I don't know if you actually read. You can't just click turned in. Yeah, I have to actually have a little bit of evidence so that I can give you, a little boost of a grade. Proud of y'all. Keep it up. I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.